In the last few days, a new variant of the COVID-19 virus, Omicron, is spreading fear and panic around the world. While even the best of scientists and experts have no definitive answers on the exact nature of this variant, the precise details related to the origin of the variant, and the implications of this variant on public health, one nation, South Africa, has been facing a lot of heat. One continent, Africa, has been facing global isolation over the new variant. Earlier this year, the executive director of UNAIDS said that we are witness to a vaccine apartheid that is only serving the interests of powerful and profitable pharmaceutical corporations while costing us the quickest and least harmful route out of this crisis. With the Omicron variant of coronavirus spreading so rapidly around the globe, it is time we took a look at the issue of vaccine apartheid. Vaccine apartheid means inequitable vaccine distribution. It means denying significant vaccine doses to low-income countries. According to the World Health Organization, for every 100 people in high-income countries, 133 doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered, while in low-income countries, only 4 doses per 100 people have been administered. Such is the level of disparity related to the global vaccine distribution. To fight COVID-19 and its variants, we must first tackle the problem of vaccine apartheid. We must work towards vaccine equity. Why should we look at vaccine equity now? How is that going to affect Indians? The number of cases of the Omicron variant of the coronavirus has been increasing rapidly in India. These cases have been spotted in various states like Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Delhi. In the days to come, these numbers, both the numbers of cases and the number of states reporting the Omicron variant of the coronavirus, is expected to rise. Research has indicated that Omicron mutant variant of the coronavirus is 3 times more likely to cause reinfections in comparison to the Delta variant or Beta variant of the coronavirus. Scientists have said that the heavily mutated strain may be spreading at more than twice the speed of the Delta variant. Study indicates that though Omicron may be more transmissible, this variant may be less dangerous than the Delta variant. But the Omicron variant can be fought effectively if there is vaccine equity. That is, if all of us are vaccinated effectively. While the World Health Organization has designated the Omicron variant as the variant of concern, it has asked the international community not to spread fear and panic. This fear and panic is resulting in hasty decisions, including that of making African nations a scapegoat for their timely detection and intervention of the new variant. The World Health Organization has said that even as the scientists around the world study Omicron in detail in the coming days, there's a lot that countries can do to help. Like for instance, countries can share genome sequencing data on publicly available databases. Nations can without delay report initial cases or clusters to the World Health Organization. Countries can perform field investigations and lab assessments to understand if Omicron has different transmission or disease characteristics or it impacts the effectiveness of vaccines. Countries can implement effective public health measures to reduce COVID-19 circulation overall, using a risk analysis and science-based approach. And as far as people are concerned, what can we do about this? With Christmas and New Year around, we must spread awareness amongst our near and dear ones that the next 1 month is going to be extremely crucial and we cannot once again afford super spreader events in the country. We must continue to keep a physical distance of at least 1 meter from others. We must continue to wear masks, open windows to improve ventilation in our rooms, avoid poorly ventilated or crowded spaces, wash hands, cough or sneeze into a bent elbow or tissue, and more importantly, get our double vaccinations. But more than anything, what nations can do is not victimize nations that have done a great service to the world by reporting the virus. Not make certain nations a scapegoat for being honest about the detection of the Omicron variant. If countries are being stigmatized and victimized for early detection and intervention, this will lead to nations suppressing details about newer variants of the coronavirus, which in the future will prove fatal for our global public health. For instance, several African leaders have hit back against the travel bans imposed by other nations over the Omicron variant. Leaders and civil society activists of African nations have called the rich nations hypocrites for imposing new restrictions instead of delivering vaccine doses to Africa that it so desperately needs. Speaking at the United Nations World Tourism General Assembly, Minister of Tourism of South Africa, Lindwe Sisulu said, "I would like to make it clear that Omicron is not a South African variant. It is a variant that was spotted and reported by brilliant South African scientists so quickly that the world could not fully digest the message enough to understand what was being conveyed. The variant has been found in various places including Africa, Europe and Asia. According to the World Health Organization, the variant has now been in several regions of the world, several weeks before it was announced in South Africa. For reasons that remain unknown to us, several countries went on to impose travel restrictions on South Africa. Surprisingly, even Spain, that hosts this UN-WTO General Assembly with all the immunities vested in UN organizations, red-listed most SADC countries, making it impossible for my colleagues in these countries to participate in this important event. The South African scientists have been the first in the world to detect and report the Omicron variant. By doing this, they have done a great service to the world. But today, the travel restrictions have been mostly aimed at the African countries alone, even when there is still not enough proof on the origin of the Omicron variant. For example, officials in the Netherlands have said that the Omicron variant was present in the Netherlands a week before the flights arrived from South Africa carrying the virus. Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera recently said in a Facebook post, "We are all concerned about the new COVID variant and owe South Africa's scientists our thanks for identifying it before anyone else did." But the unilateral travel bans now imposed on SADC countries by the UK, EU, US, Australia and others are uncalled for. COVID measures must be based on science, not on Afrophobia. The World Health Organization director also said recently that it is deeply concerning that those countries are now being penalized by others for doing the right thing.
It's deeply concerning to me that those countries are now being penalized by others for doing the right thing. We call on all countries to take rational, proportional risk reduction measures in keeping with international health regulations.
These unthought and unplanned travel bans have other implications as well. The restrictions imposed on African nations are so much that the South African researchers have not been able to ship the virus samples out of the country. And this fear-mongering is now affecting research activities.
But the travel bans that have been imposed by South Africa have caused some challenges for those samples to actually be shipped out of the country. So there are other implications for these travel bans that are out there. We're finding a way, they're finding a way to be able to share those materials so that studies can be done.
The COVID-19 vaccine makers are now looking at making slight changes to the shots to also target the Omicron variant effectively. But what is more important is the world needs to take a look at the data related to vaccine inequality. The vaccination statistics related to Africa are alarming. So far, only 6% of more than 8 billion vaccines administered globally have been in Africa. Many experts continue to say that the severity of the new variant of the coronavirus is unavoidable as long as several parts of the world still remain unvaccinated. And at least now, rich countries must face the heat for hoarding vaccines. There is still a huge gap in vaccine equity. Countries can no longer just fend for themselves and look the other way when it comes to supporting poorer nations reach their vaccination targets. Newer variants of the coronavirus will continue to emerge and will continue to spread across the globe. The first step towards curtailing the spread is early detection, timely intervention, and equitous distribution of vaccine doses, and not victimizing low-income countries for their early intervention. Because we cannot defeat the virus by focusing only on our own nation's safety. We cannot defeat the virus by only worrying about the health of our own citizens. Tackling this virus needs coordinated global efforts based on the principles of solidarity, equity, and sharing. Because no one is safe from COVID-19 until everyone is safe.